Today what I'm going to do today, we have a sub request by TheLonious for the Sea Fury FB11. This is a plane I haven't really touched on the channel at all, and that was mainly because I spaded it back when it was god awful. We're talking horrible handling, poor guns, you know the drill. It was not a fun spade, and I actually spaded quite a bit of it using it as a ground pounder purely because of how poor the plane really was at the time. But nowadays, it has changed quite a bit, so hopefully we can get at least a decent result out of it. So the Sea Fury may look familiar to you Hawker Tempest lovers, and it is related to the Tempest, so you can at least claim that. This plane didn't get much action because obviously when it was initially coming into service, the meteors were running around, and most people considered props to be kind of outdated at that point, but the Sea Fury did have some action. It did get a few kills and stuff like that, and I believe some of them were still in service in Cuba till like the 70s and 80s. It was kind of ridiculous, but these planes are very good, like real life wise anyway, and they should handle very similar to a Tempest, which the Tempest should handle similar to a Typhoon, but they still not fixed that damn thing's flight model. But we'll gloss over that. So in terms of armament, we have the 420mm Hispano Mark V cannons, which we're familiar with these at this point, and well, given my last experience with Hispano Mark V, I'm definitely going to be running the air targets belt. These are perfectly solid cannons, and well, they're used on meteors for good reason, so we can at least have that. The engine itself is the Bristol Centurus 18. I had to look then because my brain's not awake, producing 2,370 horsepower on WEP and 2,050 off WEP. Pretty decent power output. Obviously, we do have problems with overheating in this plane, which we can manage. It's not too bad. It is a plane that you should really run mech on if you can, so manual engine control. But I can't be bothered, so we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way because it's hard enough remembering some of the stuff that I have to remember for things like work and other things that I have to remember to do. And remembering keybinds is the last thing I need to remember. But you get my point. Luckily, all the fuel is located either in the wings in these small tanks or in the center line, so we shouldn't really have too much worries about wing fires or anything. And this plane can be quite durable at times, but the armor plating is quite lacking with just 16.9mm at the back, which could stop some stuff. And of course, the front bulletproof glass, which has a zero point 0.5 modifier or 0.45 modifier, so it's only about 20mm thick. So we can easily get pilot sniped against most things. But overall, this plane is pretty good, like in terms of its overall characteristics. We can obviously bring some bombs, and we can also bring the Triplex RP rockets, which are, I believe these are just pretty much three RP3s glued together. So, yeah, pretty interesting, but I don't think we're going to be bringing any ordnance, that's for sure. Alright, let's get in and let's get cracking, and let's see how this thing does these days. It has been around 3-4 years since I've actually flown the Sea Fury, so I'm looking forward to actually getting back into it and seeing how it does. But hopefully it redeems itself from last time. Anywho, I'll see you all in the first match. And in typical fashion, 5 seconds after I say that, we get our first match. I need to just... Instead, I ought to just blabber for another 5 seconds when I think about saying it, and then Gaijin might put us in a match. Alright. Just gonna get a bit more comfy in my chair, and let's go for air targets. You can tell it's been a while since I last flown it, because if you look down there, it says free repairs 1. It wasn't easy, let's put it that way. I think I also spared it during premium time as well. And this is throwing us in on the deep end, isn't it? 6-7. But that's okay. And we have a Ceres member on the enemy team. I don't think I've met that guy before, so this will be interesting, to say the least. I've not met that specific Ceres member in battle before. I've met a few of them, and some of them are alright. Like, they're pretty chill. Like, I'm good friends with 2 of them, but, yeah. Some of them are a bit, to say the least, but, well, there's always going to be bad apples, isn't there, in life? Like, that's just part of life. But I've not met this Wasp fellow before. He does ring a bell. I think I've seen him on like a YouTube comment or something, but I might be wrong about that. So yeah, 6-7 match. We've got Germans, Russians, and we've got the Italians and the Swedish. So we've got at least some decent backup. The US obviously will have stuff like P-51Hs, which I'm eager to see how this plane does against them. I think it's going to get its ass kicked, but we'll gloss over that. In terms of the Japanese, I'm not really too worried about them. The Chinese, I'm not really too worried about them either, because they're mostly Russian and later American aircraft. So, again, I'm not too worried about them. But yeah, so it's actually been a while since I've flown a Sea Fury, and so far the climb rate feels actually a bit better than last time. Obviously, I'm not climbing at the optimal angle for this plane, because I normally climb at 15 degrees for most of my planes, just because it seems to be the most, well, it doesn't seem, it's not the most efficient, but like I keep more speed that way, which is what I prefer. But it's climbing better than it used to, I will say that. Anywho, it's going to take us a few minutes to get to the match. I will see you all very shortly. Well, welcome back. We are quite a bit above the enemy team right now. The Ceres member's just been shot down by the Ori 2005 that you see in front of me. And pretty much now we have the element of surprise for the most part. So as we're getting into higher speed, and obviously I'm moving the plane around a bit, it feels a bit better. Like, it doesn't feel like it's compressing as badly as it used to. Obviously no air brake, but you never know, there might be a secret one I don't know about. Like I say, it's been 3-4 years since I last flew this thing. Like I say, the controls are feeling very generous, I must say. My aim is not, but, well, he's got a flat spin, so I don't need to worry about him. Yeah, this thing feels pretty dang solid, I must say. Of course, Ori 2005's trying to steal. Couldn't spot, why wouldn't he? There we go, kill number one. Yeah, this thing feels really good now. Like, it feels a lot better. It feels how it should feel, if that makes any literal sense. So I would go for the K-84 first, but no, this fucker needs to die. I'm not dealing with a freaking P-59. And I will let my Hungry Yak 3 teammate feast on the K-84, because I'm not dogfighting that. I never used this thing as a turn fighter, and to be honest, it doesn't feel like it can turn. Like, it turns okay, but it's no K-84, and it's definitely no Yak or Spitfire, but it was never designed to be. So, I can at least understand that. Well, let's go back in and lend a hand. Yeah, these guns slap. Very impressed with the guns. Boom! Yeah, I like this thing. I like it. It's my sort of... This is my kind of plane. Fair enough, it doesn't get stuck in with dogfights, which is its only thing that throws me off it, but like... This thing feels great. Like, really good. Very impressed by it. Alright, next up is the Raiden, which I saw this guy climbing next to the Ceres member and I was a bit worried, but... Well, judging by the fact he's doing that... That's the ticket. Do you want to finish him off, teammate? I don't mind, we need this thing out the match. Thank you. We needed that thing out of the game, so I'm not even mad. Like, we needed that thing gone. So that just leaves the... Well, that just leaves the AU-1, which has a kill and base bombing. And, yep, my worst nightmare, the P-51H. And I don't have a huge amount of ammo. Yeah, these guns are doing pretty dang well, I must say. That I will say. Right, I am not dogfighting that thing, it will kick my ass, so I'm just going to keep my speed on. I think the P-51H is faster than this thing. I don't honestly remember, because I don't remember the top speed of the Sea Fury. Like I said, it's been 3, nearly 4 years since I last flew this thing. I don't remember this thing's top speed, but the Sea Fury itself in real life was extremely fast. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to tap it and I didn't retract fast enough. Critical hit. I've got the engine, but I can't kill this plane fast enough. That's the ticket. There we go. 4.5 kills. Would have been an ace, but, well, unfortunately my guns just didn't put down the J-25 fast enough. And we have 4 bullets to potentially kill an AU-1. I'm not trusting that, but... yeah, this thing's whooping a lot of ass. I'm very impressed by it. Like, yeah, you're not going to be turn fighting people. You're not going to be the most agile dogfighter on the battlefield, but you don't really need to be. You honestly do not need to be. It's the kind of plane that you just have to play a little bit more cautiously, but once you do, you have the speed to pretty much outrun anything. You've got the guns to slap someone if they make a mistake. I'm very impressed. Like, this is amazing. This is what this plane should have been. And heck, this is what the Tempest should be. Gonna let the team know in chat. Because, well, if I don't let them know, we're going to be in a bit of an awkward spot. So, against an AU-1, which is basically an F4U-5, I think it is, this is going to be a hard fight. Because, 1, he has working flaps, I have half a flap, and 2, I don't know how maneuverable this thing is. Or you can just be a muppet, and yeah. I'm going to have to get nice and close to make sure that I can land these 4 bullets. Because I've only got 4, remember. And I missed. That's fine, we're going for the ram. Okay, no we're not, because we're going to get fucking TK'd at this rate. Because Mr. Trigger Happy. Yeah, we're getting out of the way. Because this guy's way too trigger happy. Come on, mate, I'm baiting him up. Come on. Fucking Jesus, how shit is your aim? God almighty. Mario, you need some fucking glasses, man. Jeez. Well, there we go. 4.5 kills. Top of the team. I'm very impressed with this plane. Absolutely impressed. Now, is it the best meta-defining plane at 5.7 to 6.7? Should you be dominating teams with this thing? Absolutely not. But the simple fact of the matter is compared to 3 or 4 years ago, last time I flew this thing is a beast. The guns slap. The performance is still very good. The handling feels a shitload better. And sure, you're not going to be out-turning much, but you do not need to be. With this much horsepower and this much speed, you just put your throttle down and you just keep on going. Obviously, you're not going to outrun jets, but that's an entirely different subject. But, yeah, if you want to take this thing out sometime, I would highly, highly recommend doing so. Anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it for today. Hope you enjoyed seeing the Sea Fury in action. I definitely think I'm going to be dragging this thing out if I'm helping guys at 5.7 now. And I will see you all on the next one.